So what we're talking about today is the brand new iFootage Shark Slider Nano 2. This is the 660. It's 66 centimeters. You can also get it in the 46 centimeter version, slightly shorter. And this one comes in at $749. The shorter one is $649. You can also pick up a power bank, 140 watt power bank for $119, and it has a lot of kick. It's got a quarter 20 at the bottom, it's got a quarter 20 at the top. You can put a spigot in it, and you can attach it to one of the many quarter 20s around this slider. The ones on the side, there are ones underneath. It's pretty versatile. You also have a quarter 20 and 3/8 in the middle to attach to a tripod. I would recommend using supports on both sides of the tripod. I know Zeppen does sell them. If you don't have those, then I would use two tripods, or it's going to be a little bit unstable on the actual ends of the slide. Now, talking about the ends of the slide, this slider does not have ramping, unlike Edelkrone, where you can ramp from 0 to 100% to have a nice smooth start and a nice smooth finish. Zeppen did have that until they took it out in their firmware, and now they have the same as iFootage, a generic kind of ramp at the beginning that you cannot control at all, which is a really big shame. Now, I did tell iFootage they should introduce 0 to 100% ramping so we can fully control the in and out ramp of our slide, so we can use the whole slide if we wish to, because sometimes it's a little bit abrupt kind of a start and you can only use the middle of the actual ramp. We're going to try a few different things today. We're going to do tracking, so the object tracking. I have something set up here, Takamaka Rum, a few things in the background for a nice parallax, and you can see how object tracking works. I don't recommend it. I don't like it. The person face tracking doesn't work too well either. I'll get to the point why it doesn't work too well in a minute. We're going to try a long lens, so something really nice and smooth and classic. We're going to try the wide lens, do kind of a BTS shot of what's going on here, and we'll also do a macro shot and a spin shot. Now, this does have 5 modes. It's got video, time lapse, stop motion, panorama, and it also has macro. So it's got a few modes that you can use. As for charging, we have the power bank. We can use Sony MPF batteries, and we can use a 60 watt wall charger that comes in a very nice case that you get with this as well. Horizontal payload, 7 kilos, vertical payload, 3.5 kilos, which is a lot, let's be honest. It has a nice touchscreen which you can control everything on it and do basically everything you want, firmware updates and stuff. Or you have the actual app, which is called Mocha, M-O-C-A, Mocha, and it will allow you to do tracking like I have set up right here. The only problem is that it has a 1x zoom and a 2x zoom, which have nothing to do with most focal lengths we are using. So there is no video feed going through this. So it's not tracking through what it's seeing. It's tracking through the phone that's mounted on a phone mount on top of the camera, which is a pain in the ass. It's like we did, like, you know, with the Ronin S ages and ages ago. So it's very finicky, you know, and apart from that, because of the slider and this, we have sliding left to right, we have tilt, we have pan, and we have roll, which is great. I'm going to select this bottle at 2 times. It's basically in the middle, and I am going to press start. So it's going to go back to its initial status. I am going to touch tracking, and I'm going to press start, and you're going to see what it looks like when it is doing the object tracking mode. Another problem we have is that the gimbal is now very top heavy. So the motors, they do not like that at all. If you're doing anything a little bit more, you know, where it's tilting or panning, it's not going to be happy. It really isn't. So you can see what's happening now. I just don't like it. I don't like this mode. It pisses me off severely because it's not a video feed. It's going through this top camera thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it. I'm going to end it. I'm going to take this crap off the top of it. And as you can see, the gimbal really does not like that. So what we have to do is we now have to basically very quickly balance it again. So right about there, lock it down, right about here, lock it down, unlock it. And what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to auto-tune the motors. That does get a little bit old. But it's something you got to do whenever you do change the mask that you have on here, be it a lens, be it, you know, this crazy tracking device. Then I do recommend using the calibration mode, and then all the motors will be calibrated to whatever you have there. Now, if I press, let's go to B. There we go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete B because I don't like where it is. Gonna go down a little bit. I'm gonna have B, start, and now it's gonna do basically nothing. I'm guessing that wasn't set up properly, but which gives me a good option, because now I can basically unlock it, slide it to the beginning, and show you guys how quick it is to set up, right? So we have the bottle here, all right. We're gonna slide it here. B. Track, go. Go. So right now, it's doing what it was doing with the tracking, more or less the same, but just doing an A to B keyframe. So really, really nice and simple. As you can see, I'm cutting off the bottle, and that physically hurts me as a cinematographer, but it's doing a nice, pretty nice, clean job. I am going to use the 50mm lens once more, but I'm going to put it forward, and we're going to get this kind of roll shot for you guys to see. So now we can end that, yeah. We can put my notes down there, and we can have this like so. There we go. And now we're going to cancel both points. And there we go. We're going to get it back to, you've got to unlock it to move it. So to unlock it, power button, FM button, yeah? And what we're going to do now is we are going to get that shot right there. And we're going to roll. You guys love this kind of stuff, don't you? So we have the first shot, A. Now we're going to roll in the other direction, just to be absolutely loco crazy. And make sure we get that takamaka in there. And we have number 2. And start. So now we're taking advantage of the gimbal that we can actually use the roll, the spin roll. So it's doing this kind of cool shot. I would always recommend using tracking when you're using a gimbal. So focus tracking, I just track on the Takamaka little logo right there, and it should track all the way in, be nice and smooth, more or less. And there you go, you have a nice kind of roll shot. Now you're gonna have to give me a second, because I'm gonna put on the wide lens so you guys can see what the wide lens looks like. So give me just 1 second. Right, so we now have the Viltrox 16mm f1.8. We are going to put the Takamaka rum right there and have A. This is going to be like a kind of BTS kind of shot. And then we're going to slide it all the way over here. And then we're going to get the top of the Amaran light right there. Boom. This is B. And we're going to let it do its thing. So now it's going to do this kind of slide, and you're going to see the advantages of having it on something like this. I mean, you can do some crazy shots just attaching it to this, and it's something that a lot of us have. It's not like you have to buy an extra head for a slide or anything. It's there, we have it, stick it on, it works. Some of you may even have 2 like I do, so you can use the old one on the slider and use the, the more advanced one as an actual gimbal. But yeah, it works, does this, it's pretty nice and smooth, and it's nice that we can control everything from here. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to get a macro shot in, so you guys can see how nicely the macro works, because the macro is basically the highest level of, the highest level when it comes to testing a slider. So let's get the macro on there now. So we have the macro on now. We're going to start from the top of the label. We have point A, and then we're going to go all the way down here to the bottom of the label. So a nice like kind of little run around. Where is that label? Right there. Takamaka will finish right there. That'll be pretty. This is B. and we hit start. It's literally that fast, and you can see it's ridiculously smooth. You know, I do love doing macro shots on sliders, and for me, a macro shot really does show where a slider, you know, goes wrong. And obviously the weakest points of a slider are the in and outs. That's why I keep on saying ramping is so important. It's going down. It's not doing a bad job. Apart from the focus, obviously. And you can see at the beginnings and the ends, it is a little bit finicky. I mean, just a touch. Now, if we do end this, yeah, we can do a much smaller shot, for example. Say we start right here. We get a nice shot of the rum here, and then we can basically just move it a tiny bit so we can get a shot right here. Boom. Here's another one for you. Sometimes I feel that the screen doesn't like me, but I think something like this, a macro shot like this, is much prettier because it's over such a small area. But you can see that the focus on this lens, it kind of pumps a little sometimes. But yeah, the macro does a good job. In case you're wondering, it's nice and smooth most of the time. Right, so at the moment, that is what it looks like with the Viltrox 135mm f1.8. And it is filming this scene right here. So this is the scene we're filming at this very moment in time. And this is what it looks like. It's a very big lens. I mean, like, it's a massive lens right there. Look at that. But it's doing a nice smooth job. And, you know, you might need a little bit of stabilization for such a large lens. But all in all, I think, you know, really cool slider. Is that me? Have a look. Yeah, that's me. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything, just down below, tell me what you think of the slider, because it's, you know, it's something new, it's something different. It works similarly to what I have with the Zeepens and the Edelkrone sliders. I have about 20 sliders in this studio, so I'm slider crazy. I do like how smooth it is. I would really like ramping back. Anyway, give me a like, subscribe, you know, ring that bell, all that jazz. And I am going to catch you on the next one.